At their meeting on August 3rd, the Orion Township Board of Trustees voted to approve Ordinance 151, addressing the growing problem of an invasive plant species known as Phragmites. Phragmites thrive in wetland areas and, due to their rapid growth, quickly choke out all other native plant species. The reed plant is rigid like bamboo and can overtake narrow waterways and even roads.
Phragmites, as you can see right here, and these are relatively short. They can get to be 15 feet tall. They have a very, very tough stem like bamboo that winters over, and then the next year new plants come up. And then they've got what some people say is a beautiful top that makes it very decorative, and in some cases people actually want to keep them without realizing what they're doing to the native plant habitat by allowing these to continue to grow and spread. Probably the most aggressive land plant in this area, I would guess. What you see here, which can get to be 15 feet tall, so obviously this thing is down in the ground much further than I am standing on. They get to be 15 feet tall relatively quickly. What you see is only 20% of the plant. 80% of the plant is a root structure called rhizomes, which is their primary way of spreading. And people say it can go anywhere up to 10, I've seen numbers as much as 30 feet from a plant to a remote location, depending on water and nutrition and that kind of stuff. So they will spread very aggressively, and obviously because they're so big and so strong and so aggressive, they will outgrow virtually everything else and crowd it out.
The ordinance passed by the Township Board encourages property owners to have the plant treated and cut down. However, if the situation gets out of hand and the plant becomes a fire hazard, then the township will take matters into their own hands and give property owners a bill for the treatment.
Absolutely, it's a good start. We started really looking at this probably a couple of years ago, identifying properties, finding out who owned them, talking to them, and seeing whether or not they'd be interested in treating. That's basically the same process we're now going forward with. It's a voluntary approach. A group of committee members are taking upon themselves, with Jeff Stout as the operations director in the township in charge, identifying properties and then contacting the owners. Education process, hit them to understand, if they don't know already, what these are. And by the way, that's changing pretty quickly, because people now will walk up to you and say, wow, I've seen more Phragmites than I ever expected. And so we can get them under a township permit, a no obligation cost estimate from a certified supplier. They can get the cost estimate. If it seems something that they're ready to step up to, they can do it. Otherwise, they can table it till some future point in time.
One homeowner decided to look into treating the plant on her own after they grew so large that they blocked her view of the lake and overtook the dock. A company came out last fall, treated the area with a chemical, and returned in the winter to mow down the plants.
I would definitely not ignore the problem, because every year they grow another 4 to 5 feet. They're very invasive. They kill the plants that you do grow. They come into your lawn. They're impossible to get rid of without the treatment. This year alone, I mean, just looking out the window, we do it a lot more often. We've had comments from several people that come to our house because they love the view from our house. And this year they've looked and they're like, wow, what a difference. This year you can really see your lake. And it's been wonderful. 2 members of a certified supplier came in with backpacks and a herbicide solution in the pack called glyphosate. It's buffered to keep it from affecting amphibians and other kinds of things, and basically they used a hand sprayer to treat that, whatever it was, acre and a half kind of a thing. It took about 45 minutes, and then I think in February it was mowed down. At that point, it was obviously looked like bamboo. Some people cut it, some people don't. And then as you can see from this year's experience, they've had like a 95% success rate.
Not only has the homeowner regained her view of the lake, but native plant species have begun to reclaim the area once dominated by Phragmites. And the cost? Only $150. If you have any questions about Phragmites or the ordinance, contact the township's Jeff Stout at 248-391-0304 extension 141. They will send you a committee member to your property to address your concerns.